what I don't want to do is take your team of 2 salespeople, make it a team of 4. You're going to double your payroll. But what if your profit line is the same? Oh, and welcome back to Revenue Remix. I'm your host, Summer Poletti, founder and CRO of Rise of Us, where I help CEOs and founders avoid expensive mistakes. And this is another in the series where it's just you and me, a little bonus here where I go deeper into what does that actually look like? Because when I tell founders, when I tell my collaborators that I help avoid $150,000 to $500,000 mistakes, that gets a, okay, tell me more. This is that tell me more. So in the last episode, I talked about looking at what you need to have in place before you bring on your first sales hire or before you expand that initial small, scrappy sales team. And I'm going to talk about something else that is actually a bonus for your company. So here we have a bonus within a bonus. When I'm looking at a company that is navigating that $5 to $25 million range, I'm looking for profitability gaps. And this is when I get in, we decide we're going to hire a new sales team, all that good stuff. What I'm also looking for are gaps in the current process. Because a lot of the companies I work with, they already have a couple of salespeople on board and revenue looks good. And I'm always looking for profitable growth. So what I don't want to do is take your team of 2 salespeople, make it a team of 4. You're going to double your payroll. They're going to bring in more deals. But if they only bring in enough to pay for themselves, you're going to have a company that has a lot more revenue, a lot more headcount. And we know that headcount comes with headaches. And then, but what if your profit line is the same? I don't want that. I want revenue to grow, but I want profit to grow even more. So I look for profitability gaps, and I'm going to tell you about those today. The profitability gaps that I see most often are leads, like we fumble the handoff in between marketing and sales because marketing identifies a lead as this, sales identifies a lead as this, and anybody who's like in the middle there, and they're not getting nurtured. Like what happens when a marketing lead is sent to sales and sales doesn't think it's ready? Where does it go? So figuring that out and nurturing those buyers who aren't yet ready, that is a big gap. I also see people fall off. Usually it's after demo or pricing. And they ghost you, whatever. They don't buy. Maybe they tell you they're not going to buy. Maybe they don't. A lost deal or a stalled deal, sometimes I don't see those being followed up, maybe even for years. So it's a follow-up thing. Follow up on buyers who aren't buying ready. I also see partners that are kind of partners in name only. Maybe they're listed in a CRM. Maybe they're in a spreadsheet. Maybe they're in your head. Somebody who you thought might be a good partner. You said, hey, let's partner up. And then nothing happens. So under-optimized partners, huge, lot of money left on the table there. And I see not just partners under-optimized, but clients under-optimized. And usually they're the clients in the middle. They're not the huge clients, and they're not the little scrappy ones that you brought on board when you were newer and all revenue was good revenue. It's those clients in the middle that are probably underutilizing your product or your service. There's no referral motion. There's nothing like that. And what you need to do to de-risk your revenue is to build out the middle so that you don't have, One company I saw had more than 60% of their revenue tied up in the top one client. Big risk. So the middle clients needing to be built out. And one last profitability gap that I see in almost every company is underperforming events. Events that are designed to bring in top of funnel. There's no real marketing around the events. The event spend, I've seen it be second only to payroll, and without a real clear, like, what revenue did we recognize specifically because of this event? So those are your profitability gaps. You can look at those. What I like to do is I like to look at those first and plug those before we bring in more sales folks or before we hire in the first salesperson. And the bonus there, for anybody who thinks that's slow, the bonus there is you're going to get some extra lift and some extra momentum before you bring in a sales hire. And then the extra bonus is your entire system is built for higher profitability. So when you bring in that added payroll, you're going to be getting more out of it. And who doesn't want more profit, right? Okay. So that's the end of this little bonus tip. If you heard anything in here that sounds interesting, DM me, you know where to find me. If this sounds like anybody you know is scratching their head on where their leads are going, are they getting anything out of their events, or they've talked about partnerships that kind of don't deliver, be a good business friend and send this over to them. Let's help them too. All right, let's wrap it up. For those of you listening in the gym or the car, I appreciate you, and I will see you next week.